Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. My name is Daniel and I'm the High Mileage Helper. On this channel, my goal is to be able to help you learn more about the RV transporting industry, as well as give how-to videos for your truck and then give recommendations along the way. So if this is our first time meeting, just consider subscribing, hitting the like button if you get good value. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you why you should buy an auxiliary fuel tank, and we'll go ahead and get right into the video. So the biggest reason why you should buy an auxiliary fuel tank is because it can save you money. When you're out on the road and you have an auxiliary fuel tank, you can buy fuel at a cheaper cost at one location maybe than at another, which means that if you plan ahead and you go forward and you're able to find those locations where it is cheaper or significantly cheaper, that ultimately means that you're going to be saving money, you're going to be making money, you're going to be retaining more money that you were given from the gross amount, and that just means more dollars in your pocket at the end of the day. So that is the primary purpose, the primary reason why you should buy an auxiliary fuel tank. The second reason why you should buy an auxiliary fuel tank, which I noticed immediately when I bought my auxiliary fuel tank, was the saving of time out on the road. You know, we have a 14-hour day, 11 hours of driving, and we've got windows where we can fill up, where we can take our 30-minute break, our pre-trip, our post-trip. And the idea of saving time every day means that you're able to stop earlier, maybe start your next day earlier, and it just keeps on going and going. So the idea of saving time with an auxiliary fuel tank is essentially going to allow you to not have to stop as often throughout the day. My auxiliary fuel tank allows me to go a couple days and more before I actually have to start thinking of where am I going to be filling up again. If you are able to save time out on the road, that ultimately means that you're eventually going to be able to make more money. You're going to have a shorter day out on the road and be able to get to your destinations quicker. And so with this addition of having an auxiliary fuel tank, this is going to allow you to have shorter days, be back to where you need to be when you want to be, and be able to cut down in your time throughout the day. So that's the second thing, saving time. So another benefit of getting an auxiliary fuel tank is going to be having more filtration for your fuel. You know, sometimes there are fuel stations that get bad fuel. There's places that have old fuel, and the idea of having an additional filtration system in between that auxiliary tank to your main tank, that is a great benefit to you. The idea of having some type of contamination, some type of issue, having that auxiliary fuel tank is going to allow you to have another fuel filtration system, having a inline filter. You can have an additional filter to your main filter. And so the idea of having an additional fuel tank means that you're going to have that option of having another filter, which can only be beneficial to you. It might be an additional cost, but the potential of catching some type of contamination in that fuel is so much greater, having a dual filtration system. So the idea of being able to have an additional step of preventative maintenance or preventative filtration in your fuel system, from your high pressure pump to your injectors, your fuel lines, all of those things being a step more protected with having this additional filter, it can only be beneficial to you long term, especially if there's a potential for a catastrophic failure in your fuel system. So this can be only beneficial to you with getting an auxiliary fuel tank. So another reason why you should buy an auxiliary fuel tank is because there's less of a chance of you running out of fuel when you're in a time crunch. I can't tell you how many times that if I had not had an auxiliary fuel tank, I would not have made the delivery. A simple 15-minute fuel stop can mean the difference between dropping off on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It's a huge difference for me. When I'm out on the road, when I'm in traffic even, if you're getting close to E, if you're getting down to a fourth of a tank and being able to hit a button to allow your auxiliary fuel tank to start pumping fuel, or if you have a gravity feed tank, that is a huge benefit to you. It's a time saver, but essentially in a real world application, location, it can be the difference between missing out on a lot of money when you were out on the road. If you could have delivered Tuesday, then maybe you still had hours of service left to be able to start going back to get another load. And so the idea of being able to have an auxiliary fuel tank and not getting in a time crunch, not getting in a, oh my word, I'm down to E and there's no fuel stations around me, getting into those predicaments, this is just one more step to where you can be better off when you're going down the road with having an auxiliary fuel tank. So last but not least, you need to buy an auxiliary fuel tank because it pays for itself. When you first start out, you may have to pay $500, $800, $1,000, maybe even a hair more, depending on the size, the quality of the actual fuel tank itself. But at the end of the day, this thing will pay for itself in a matter of a month or two or maybe 3. This thing will return its value to you in a short amount of time. And then after that, it's just pure profit. There's very few things that we can get back in this industry. We have our gross pay, which our number one thing that's taken out of that is going to be our fuel. And so if we can't get back our fuel, if we can't get back our tread on our tires, if we can't, extend our life of our oil, our filters, the least we can do is be able to find those locations around the country where we can fill up at a much cheaper price, be able to then drive as far as we need to until we find that next location at a lower price. And then that means we'll be able to stop the bleeding of how much money we're spending on this fuel. If we were going to have to get 72 gallons, let's make that 72 gallons at a cheaper cost. It's a huge benefit to us. It pays for itself, and then after that, it's the gift that just keeps on giving, because there's very few things in this industry with our truck, with all the tools that we need, that we can get an instant return on the value of that tool, of that item. And so simply, it's one of the best investments that you can make when you're in this industry, when you're out on the road and you're traveling lots and lots of miles. You can save money, save time, and save a real big headache. And so this is why you should buy an auxiliary fuel tank. I went ahead and bought mine from someone on Craigslist who they had bought it from Dooley Depot. I know Dan's Service Center, Dan's Hitch, they have fuel tanks. Dooley Depot, Pro Motor, several other places around the Elkhart, Goshen area, or simply on Craigslist, or even Facebook Marketplace, being able to find a auxiliary fuel tank to help you save money down the road. It is one of the best things you can do in this industry, and so I wanted to share this with you guys. It's a simple concept, but this is very important, and it can save you lots of money and time and headaches down the road. So with all that being said, hopefully you have a great day today. Stay safe, and God bless, guys.